Have you ever noticed that missing a trade can feel worse than taking a loss? Not logically, but emotionally. You follow your rules, you hesitate for just a moment, and the price takes off without you. Suddenly, there's this deep, uncomfortable sensation in your chest. It's not panic, it's not fear, it's regret. You replay the chart, you imagine the entry, you calculate the profit you could have made. And what makes it worse is this thought: I didn't even lose money. So why does this feel so bad? This video is about that feeling. Because missing trades is one of the most emotionally disruptive experiences in trading. And if you don't understand why it hurts so much, your reactions to it will quietly destroy your discipline. Let's slow it down. When you lose a trade, the experience ends. The loss is real. The damage is defined. The outcome is known. Your brain can process it. But when you miss a trade, nothing ends. There's no closure. Instead, the mind creates an alternate reality, one where you entered perfectly, managed it well, and made money. That imagined outcome feels real to your nervous system. And here's the key. The brain does not distinguish clearly between a real loss and an imagined loss. Both activate the same emotional circuitry. That's why missing a trade can feel heavier than losing one. A loss closes a loop. A miss leaves it wide open. And the human brain hates open loops. We are wired to resolve uncertainty. We want endings. We want completion. So when a trade runs without you, the mind keeps pulling you back to it. What if I had entered? What if I hadn't hesitated? What if I broke my rule just once? Those thoughts don't feel optional, they feel intrusive. And the longer they run, the more emotional pressure builds. This is especially hard for disciplined traders. Because when you miss a trade by following your rules, there's no obvious mistake to point to. You didn't mess up. You didn't break discipline. You did what you were supposed to do. So the pain has nowhere to go. Instead of turning into anger or acceptance, it turns into regret. And regret is sticky. Here's something most traders don't realize. Regret is not about money. Regret is about the lost control over a possible outcome. When you miss a trade, your brain believes you could have influenced the result, and that belief creates emotional tension. Even if, logically, you know you couldn't guarantee anything. That's why regret is often stronger after a miss than after a loss. Loss feels inevitable in trading. Missing feels avoidable. And anything that feels avoidable feels personal. Now let's talk about what this does to your behavior. After a missed trade, traders often feel an intense urge to get back in. They chase late entries. They take suboptimal setups. They trade volatility they would normally avoid. Not because they see an edge, but because they want emotional relief. They want to close the loop. That's why missed trades so often lead to revenge trading. Not revenge against the market, revenge against the feeling. You're not trying to make money. You're trying to undo regret, and that's a dangerous place to trade from. Another common reaction is over-analysis. You zoom in on the chart. You replay the moment you hesitated. You question your ability to read price. Suddenly, confidence drops. Not because you made a mistake, but because your brain equates hesitation with incompetence. That's unfair, but it's how the nervous system interprets it. The truth is, missing trades is part of professional trading. Every trader misses trades. Every single day. Including the best ones. Selectivity requires missing opportunities. You cannot be selective and catch everything. Those two goals contradict each other, but emotionally, that's hard to accept. Because the mind doesn't measure success by restraint, it measures it by participation. So when you don't participate, it feels like failure, even when it isn't. Now let's talk about the cost if this pattern isn't corrected. Missed trades don't directly damage accounts. Reactions to missed trades do. If every missed move pulls you out of emotional neutrality, you will overtrade, chase entries, break time rules, abandon patience, and lose trust in your process. Over time, This leads to exhaustion. You start dreading good market days because good movement reminds you of what you didn't catch. That's not sustainable. So how do we fix this? The solution is not to never miss. That's impossible. The solution is to close these missed trade loops intentionally. Here's a simple but powerful protocol. Every time you miss a trade, write down 3 things. 1. Was the trade valid according to my plan, yes or no? 2. Why did I miss it? Was it hesitation, a rule, a distraction, or timing? 3. Would taking it have violated my process? This does 2 things. First, it gives your brain closure. Instead of replaying imagined profits, you replace imagination with facts. Second, it separates intentional misses from mistakes. If you missed a trade because of a rule, that is not failure. That is discipline. If you missed it because of hesitation, that's not shame. That's feedback. Both are useful. Neither requires emotional punishment. Another critical reframe is this. A missed trade is not a loss. It's unrealized potential. And unrealized potential is infinite in the markets. You will never catch every move. You don't need to. Your job is not to capture everything, it's to execute well when conditions align. That means accepting that many good trades will pass without you. That's not falling behind. That's being selective. Now let's address FOMO directly. FOMO isn't fear of missing money. It's fear of missing validation. You're not just imagining profit. You're imagining proof that you're good enough, that you're improving, or that you're on the right track. So when a trade runs without you, it can feel like proof that you're not. That's why missed trades hit our identity so hard. The fix here is separating your self-worth from participation. You are not a better trader because you took the trade. You are not a worse trader because you didn't. You are a trader because you followed your process. And a process-based identity is what stabilizes emotions long-term. One more important practice. Pre-accept missing trades. Before your session, tell yourself, I will miss good trades today, and that's okay. When you pre-approve missing, it loses its emotional charge. Surprises are what create spikes in emotion. Acceptance reduces those spikes. Finally, here's a grounding question to ask yourself after a miss. If I could replay this day perfectly, would I want to change my process or just the outcome? If the answer is just the outcome, then you did nothing wrong. That's the difference between regret and growth. And that's a trader's hidden edge. If this episode helped you understand why missed trades hit so hard, hit the like button, subscribe with alerts for more trading psychology. Comment below, what hurts more to you, missing trades or a losing trade? Naming it is how you stop reacting to it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next episode.